Say that again.
Iraqi hills on your nose.
Iraqi hills.
Iraqi.
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 Iraqi. Hills.
Iraqi hills. Got it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
If
Solid as a rock.
Yeah, it's Arrested Development. Right?
Like a rock.
When they think it's a rock and it's actually just his balls.
Yeah.
Those are balls. All right. Welcome to episode 7 of Rough Around the Edges, brought to you by Roughneck Games. This one is going to be the Fallout 4 special.
Make it sexy.
That's what it's all about. All right. So we've all played the game at this point, obviously. What are your first impressions? What do you think was good? Did you think anything was bad? And what surprised you that you didn't know was in the game as we went into it?
That was like 50 questions.
Just talk about it.
Just synthesize.
Well, okay. I'll go first, I suppose. What did I like about it was the first part of that. And
Good, bad, surprising.
there are a whole lot of things in there that I do like about it. I think that they went out of their way to put a lot into this game that wasn't in their previous games.
Totally.
Like with the settlement thing and it was such a huge effort on their part to put in everything they did, and I really appreciated that part of that. And I think that one of the things that I did not enjoy was dog meat. And
I knew this was going to come up.
Dog meat.
yeah,
You're like Hitler.
it's not that. I mean, I love dogs. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have a dog companion in that situation in real life.
He kicks puppies.
But just they've never for me pulled off companions, and it just bothered me. So
Yeah, you don't
I
use
much
any companions.
I don't. I
Right.
run solo.
Did you take the loner perk?
Yeah.
I did take the loner perk.
There you
That
go.
was tempting.
It's super powerful too, so it was very tempting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's so much
It's catered
damage
towards
reduction.
people like you that don't like their
Yeah,
companions.
so I do appreciate that aspect. They have everything covered, obviously, and things that surprised me. Let's see. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the settlement side of things.
Yeah.
Going into it, I didn't really want to partake in that right away. It was something that I was going to leave for like after the storyline and when I had more time to deal with things. And
It just
as soon as I started, like, they don't necessarily force you into it, but stumble across it pretty early, and I just got hooked and couldn't stop for hours.
Oh yeah.
The time flew by as soon as I started doing that.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, I'm just gonna do the minimum for this, and then keep going. And then like hours later, I said, "What did I just do?"
Right.
Yeah. Have it less sanctuary in a month.
Yeah,
Oh, just it's my home. I love it so much.
Maybe I should cross the bridge and get out of Sanctuary.
Yeah.
No. So one thing that I think that maybe we should mention is how far we've all gotten different distances through the game. So I personally have, according to Steam, played over 100 hours of this game.
Yeah.
I am on the quest go to Diamond City, which I think is like the first part of the main story. While Jarv like has beaten the main story.
I have beaten the main story.
So like
Yeah. Diamond City's not the first part, but it's very early
Almost,
on.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
also on
I think
Diamond
it's
City.
like 3 conversations and they're like go to Diamond City.
Yeah. Yeah. That just proves how much there's out there.
And I don't even know what Diamond City is. But I do have so many hours in this, and settlements are what I have done. Settlements and side quests for settlements is a large part of what I've done. And I have gone through such an emotional roller coaster with settlements. I don't want to give the number because I don't want to spoil how many settlements, but you can get a lot of fucking settlements. Too many. So basically, at first I just adored the townsfolk. I was just like, oh, these are my people. They're coming. They're doing stuff. I tell them do this. They're making food. It's fantastic. I like
Some taters.
I'm making some taters, and I'm helping keep them safe. I put up turrets, and oh, it's fantastic. And then it was like everybody's complaining about the bed situation. And I was like, what bed situation? There's 7 of you, and I made 30 beds. How is there a bed situation? I still don't understand what their problem is with the beds.
Yeah, I've had that.
I think what it is you have to like leave enough space so that they can walk up to the side of the bed.
That makes
They have
sense.
to, really?
You just got to crank.
No, I
You gotta
I
leave
actually
access
put them all
points
in
to
a
the
line.
beds.
You got an Auschwitz going on over there?
Wait, did you
they
not
gotta
put
stand
space
when they
between
go to the
beds? You
bathroom?
just made like a super bed?
No, I did put
super bed.
super
Just
bed.
one big bed.
Just
Let's
the
party.
entire room is just mattress.
That's what
he's
I'm
got his
picturing
own
based
cult
on what you
going.
just
That's
said.
actually what I did. I have sleeping bags
if you
lined
do
up
sleeping
in small
bags-
crevices
Well, they
all
can
over
just
the
jump
floor.
on those.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you just
Yeah,
Bakes have,
oh,
like,
so you put actual
rails and-
beds.
Yeah, I
Okay.
made actual
Jump
beds
on
instead
in.
of sleeping bags because I just in my heart I was like, these people have been through a lot. They deserve a real bed.
So you
Not the
cram
floor.
them together like tuna?
No, I think what it was there were I just had bed situations where I thought I had more beds, but they didn't match up right, or like they just had things blocking them. I don't know. They bitch about the beds, so that was one thing that was a little.
Okay, so is that your good side to the question?
You
good
you
and
said
bad.
talk about it. So
I
I'm
said,
just, okay,
yeah, just
all right,
list,
good.
something that was good, something that was
Yeah,
bad.
you went strong into just, I'm going to
Yeah, you
settlement down.
Yeah, this,
That's how that'll come up.
I played 100
Sure.
hours all about settlements. Anyway,
Settlement boner over here.
yeah, I'm explaining my journey through the good and the bad via the 100 hours of dealing with settlements.
What's the bet?
Okay,
So settlements are good.
Was it the bed thing?
The bad part
Is the bed thing?
is the beds, and then when you're out, like I have so many settlements now that like I'm out on a quest, and it's like, oh, Red Rocket gas station or truck stop or whatever
Needs your help.
it needs your help. It's under attack, and I'm like, I'm 3 levels down in some basement fighting ghouls. I can't
They
get
can deal
there
with it.
You
right
have
now.
turrets, damn
They've
it.
got turrets.
I know
and-
I have turrets,
guards.
and then it's like, oh, you failed this quest, and I'm like, my defense was 100. I put turrets like at everywhere in that place, and then you go there and you have to go and you have to repair. So they're kind of like, it's a big it's settlements
Laborious.
are awesome, but then they become a huge responsibility, and then they're like children. It's like you're at work, and then your kid got into a scuffle in school, and you have to take off work and go
Yeah.
talk to the principal, and that happens to be super mutants coming in trying to kill them. But so I love it, but sometimes it gets frustrating
Right.
later on.
Right.
But now I'll cover just main things. I love the new dialogue system. I have always disliked Bethesda's dialogue stuff in the past. It seemed very
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
very stiff. In this,
It's always
they're-
been just a menu surf.
Yeah, exactly. It was always just like them standing stiff in front of you and their mouth moving. And that you're talking, you have a voice. They have actions. They're animated, and I absolutely love the power armor system and the different levels of the power armor, the customization. I have so many suits of power armor, and they're in Sanctuary, and when Sanctuary gets attacked, the townsfolk jump in my power armor.
Oh,
which
because
is,
yeah, I take the fusion cores out of them so they don't steal them.
Yeah, it's awesome when they do it, and then
the
I have to
one
go
that I have.
around and go get out of the power armor and then move it back in, and yeah. But besides that, I've only actually seen 3 possible companions, and this isn't spoilerish. You meet Preston, and that's who I've taken with me, and then there's Dogmeat and Codsworth. And when Sanctuary got attacked, Codsworth took out his saw and just started hacking heads off, and it was one of the most amazing things I ever saw. I was like, I'm not taking Codsworth. He's not a
house
combatant. And then he kicked so much ass. Anyway, sorry, Dane.
Hey,
On to you.
I'm fine. Did you say obviously there's going to be some spoilers.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
spoiler alert. If you haven't played
But
the game.
we're definitely going to keep it to a minimum, although it's going to come up naturally.
Well,
Just
some
to-
of us aren't going to be able to talk about the main storyline much because we haven't gone to.
right, exactly.
Diamond City or
But
whatever it's
10
called.
minutes in, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Hi.
And I am in the main storyline. I'm not too far along. Definitely been to Diamond City. I can't imagine the game without having gone to Diamond City. So that's interesting that you have so many hours without it, because it's gonna change the game for you, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I think I have probably the least amount of hours total in the game, which is somewhere around like 25. So I haven't done too much, and I've tried to get a breadth of experience in it, so I haven't really been locked down into anything yet. So I would say the good for me is just the depth, and it involves the conversation system, which I think is awesome. The new dialogue is amazing. The crafting was overwhelming at first.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've gotten the hang of it, both settlement, but primarily armor and weapons, I love it. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's hurting me a little because now all of my adventuring is cut short because of space, and
Oh yeah.
I can't get enough cardboard,
Oh my god.
whatever, clipboards and, enamel buckets.
Oh, I
Yeah,
pick up
Press-
everything.
I don't know. Who you,
I love it.
I don't know who you guys take with you as a companion, but I've taken Preston through. I've done a lot of the Minutemen stuff, and I think I might have gotten to the end of the Minutemen stuff, at least to a degree. But he's with me all the time. Like he's been my sidekick the entire time, and he's constantly like questioning what I pick up. Like he's like,
Oh, really?
He'll always be like,
Wow.
I guess it's your decision, but do you think you really need that? And I'm like, Preston, do you understand the settlement system in this game?
He doesn't. Do you know that I built you a safe haven,
Yeah,
sir?
exactly.
Yeah,
Well, we've
you
already
get
covered-
that from a bunch of the companions. And
Dogmeat
And that's why you
definitely
don't take any of them.
Dogmeat definitely doesn't
Exactly.
complain.
Oh, I take dog meat.
Dogmeat.
He
just
goes and
loves
finds
it.
me stuff.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Says, let's take this
I've
with
been
us.
taking Dogmeat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the turret around the corner that you didn't want to know that you were there.
I don't.
I
Well,
haven't
we'll
had
get to
that with
play
Sneak.
style.
That's
but-
true. So anyway, that's good. I love it, and I think crafting is the win here for me. But also in regard to death, I enjoy. I really like what they've done with the story. I mean, they really gave me something to care about, which
Yeah.
I have never had before in a Fallout game, and even even Skyrim. I had to make up my own stories.
Yeah, you have to
To
like make
drive
it up
me.
in your head. Yeah.
Not
you
that
just weren't
not
as
that
engaged
their
as this.
story is bad inherently. It's just like
Right.
they throw it right in front of you, and it gives you motivation.
Yeah, it's intense right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad, I haven't found too much that I'm disappointed with. It is a little buggy. I've hit a quest bug already.
Sure.
But I kind of don't mind, just because if there's bugs on random stuff, it means that they probably were focusing on the other things that make the game really awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
And with
Somebody will iron it out.
Yeah, and with
eventually.
Bethesda games, it's all because
They're huge.
their ambition is so huge. Yeah,
Right.
I know that in Fallout 3, like quest line things cross, and sometimes you would negate the ability to do a quest if you did another one.
Right.
Then it shouldn't have happened that way. But there'll always be bugs, and the sense that I get from the game community is that it's almost endearing. An
Right.
endearing aspect about Bethesda's games, like when the giants in Skyrim slam their club on the ground and you fly
Launching.
3 miles into the air.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I'm reaching there to find the bad. I have yet to find anything that is. It's amazing as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, the surprising one was that radiation is relevant,
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Radiation
I
storms?
also love that.
Oh,
I did
yeah,
not
that-
see
Or
that coming.
anything, enemies attack you, you get radiation or poison or a number of other effects.
I hate
Or
ghouls.
water is the same as Fallout, but like in Fallout, I didn't even carry RATE with me.
You mean Fallout 3?
Or Fallout 3, yeah. I didn't feel like it mattered. It
yeah.
wasn't a factor of the game for me.
No,
It
it's a
is a
hotkey.
real factor.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Joe, I think it was you that said, I'm half rads right now.
Oh,
Like you're at half health because it's rads.
I
Yeah.
was- I
I've been
was
in that place too,
half
and
health.
I've been like, eh.
and I hadn't used right away, and I got down to the point where my max health was 28, and I was still
Wow.
going around questing.
hilarious.
And I got to that point, and I think just past that, with so much radiation that I was hearing the blood pounding in your ears.
Oh
my
I'm like,
man.
at max health, and
You're
I was like,
going
maybe
crazy.
I should heal my radiation. And I also realized, oh yeah, I can just craft this at the chem station.
Oh, yeah.
I
Right.
don't have to buy them.
Exactly.
And I've
That's,
got,
that's
like,
a
a
great
the
aspect.
chem
stockpile of it
station is
anyways.
not just about making the drugs.
Oh yeah,
Well, I love that. I love that. It surprised me, and I really was happy
Oh
about it.
man.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
I doubt that you guys, from what you've told me, I doubt you guys have been to this place, and I won't really talk in depth about it because I don't want to spoil anything. but you should remember the place called the Glowing Sea, because if you haven't been there, it's gonna
That sounds
it's
Definitely
like-
haven't.
It is. It's
radiation
intense.
hell.
It sounds like radiation
situation.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for you to experience that, because it was so
Just
much
take a little dip in the
a-
glowing sea.
like a lot of other aspects of Fallout 4. It was something that really caught me by surprise with how massive this game is,
Yeah.
and how they were creative in ways they haven't been in the past.
I just
Yeah,
imagine
that's
that
awesome.
I'm gonna go there and then walk into the radiation. Suddenly, I'll have like 7 ears sprouting from my face. I'm so irradiated.
You become a
you-
super mutant.
Oh,
You
yeah.
definitely have to have a
Instantly.
plan going in there. That's for sure.
Radiation.
Yikes.
Love-hate
That's
relationship.
Intimidating. I'm scared of that.
Love it.
How about you, Joe?
Was one of your questions what surprised you? Because I didn't answer that. Even
Yeah,
though I talked
just-
for like 10 minutes.
You did do that. Yeah. What surprised you?
It is one thing that's kind of a joke, and it's not really a spoiler, but the swan. That's all I'm going to say. You'll figure that.
Okay.
You'll figure it out if
I'll
you
get
come
there.
across it. That frightened me, and it's really along the lines of Dane. Like the beginning, like it just hits you hard, and you get that the situation. You're trapped. There's nothing you can do, and it's really intense. Instead of being like just a vault dweller who doesn't, like in Fallout 3 Fallout 3 where you just come out and things.
Yeah, you had a
You're
normal
there
kind of
and
vault
you're
childhood.
going down as you like when you see it.
Yeah,
and,
you get both ends.
Yeah.
and right from the start things are just fishy. There's weird shit going on, and
Yeah, it's intense.
and you've got
A lot of questions.
a purpose.
Oh, yeah, immediately.
You have a purpose, and it can either be, without spoiling, I mean it's right at the beginning, but without spoiling, it can either be vengeance or like something good, like saving.
Yeah, it's all in the way that you approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good RPG
Yeah.
element to it.
You're
I like
playing
it.
a role
Yeah, you play that
in
role.
a game.
You define it yourself. Yeah, the game does a really good job of kind of molding around how you want to play it. They give you all those options. I can't think of anything bad. I think surprising. One thing that immediately surprised me was when I got out of the vault. Spoiler alert: you get out of the vault.
What?
And then you walk down the hill, and then I saw a plant that I could pick up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was
That's
instantly like, "Oh
Good
crap!"
point. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
I'm gonna-
Skyrim all over.
Yeah,
again.
this is
There you
Skyrim.
go.
Am I getting to catch
Dane's like,
bugs
"Where's
out
the
of
moss?"
air?
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
going to be able to walk down the road
Moss
without
everywhere.
sidebarring. I zigzag down the road in Skyrim so much that just picking up plants and stuff. Luckily, that was my biggest fear when I ran out and saw that plant. I kind of freaked out a little bit. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm
gosh,
gonna sink."
can I mine? Because if I can mine, it's over.
I've
This is a
seen
huge percentage
textures.
of my time.
I've seen textures on rocks that look like something I could mine, and I'm like, is there mining? Am I going to have to mine?
Yeah.
It just reminds me of of being the Dragonborn and just going down a path, leaping in the air at grabbing at moths. I mean, like,
Yeah, exactly.
That concept is just hilarious to me. You're like a huge hero, and you're like level 100.
Yeah.
snagging,
just-
snagging purple
you just
flowers
gr-
on the street.
Yeah, you're just
like,
grabbing
ooh.
stuff.
Luckily, there
flower.
seems to be a lot less, and it's not as distracting.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
Another thing that surprised me was I don't know if anybody's. We think most of you have played a little bit at least of Fallout Shelter. Now they have the Fallout Vault lunchboxes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was surprised to find the first time I saw one of those in the game, and then you open it up and it's got like the confetti thing.
Yeah.
And the ones that I think that I found like a noodle cup in one, and then everything else has been pens. Literally every time I open a lunchbox, I
wow.
find a pen. That's
I
all I
got-
found.
That's funny.
I don't understand
Yeah.
why, but
I've gotten other things than that, and
Yeah.
I've also gotten stiffed. Like nothing comes out.
Oh, really?
I'm just like
Baby,
what?
baby rattles.
I got
for
plenty
me.
of pens.
A lot of baby rattles.
There's so much stuff in the game. It's
Yeah,
just crazy.
I grab everything. For a long time, I was grabbing folders until I realized
They're useless. Yeah, and burnt magazines.
and burnt things.
Hey, you can sell a burnt magazine for
so there
Yeah.
you go.
one bottle cap.
That's true.
Right
I-
there.
0 weight.
I'm just
Zero
going to go
weight.
out and say I've yet to sell a single thing.
Wow.
I
it was a
can't say that.
don't- I
it
have
was a
just too much
delicate
crap.
balance for me trying to figure out what I was gonna scrap for crafting and
Yeah.
what I was gonna sell.
Oh, I see.
I'm just stockpiling too much stuff. I'm going to have to go through it at some point and start
Well,
selling.
the thing is, I stockpile in the workshop. For a while, I did like put weapons and armor in separate boxes, and then I was like, I could just do this in the workshop, and then therefore, once you set up the caravans, like you can
get it everywhere.
You can get it everywhere. And by
That's
the way,
a really good idea.
when I started
good
setting up
point.
caravans, I set up a caravan from each point. Like, so each of my settlements was a node connected to every single other one.
So you had a crazy spider web.
So yeah, and then I realized you can just chain these together in just a big circle or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to start like sitting around settlements and catching the provisioners as they were coming in, and being like,
Stop it.
Go over there and play with that plant." And then they're like, "Okay," and then they become a member of that settlement.
Oh yeah, instead of a provisioner, they go back to being a settler.
Yeah, but they keep the name provisioner, which makes things
Really?
confusing.
Oh
yeah.
god.
Yeah. That was at least 5 hours of my playtime.
So the one thing I wanted to mention on the good side, I really like how they redid just the general feel of the weapons. Instead of just being, here's a bunch of weapons, especially like the handguns and guns and stuff like that. In Fallout 3, it was, here's this caliber gun and this caliber gun and this caliber gun. And now it's a lot of the early guns are various things that are made out of scrap and pipes and stuff, the pipe guns.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I love.
Yeah, that's really
I really
cool.
like that they did
Like,
that.
yeah, there are some weapons that,
Yeah, you can still get like a 10 millimeter and stuff like that. But
yeah, you get but then there's things made out of pipe, and there's the different damage types,
Right.
which goes back to the radiation stuff.
yep.
Endless modifications.
Yeah, oh man, I have poured so many points into like the gun nut. And
I did as well. And armor.
Yeah, gotta go crafting.
and
How do you?
science
I don't
and-
know how.
Yeah.
Once I was able to,
You become a god.
oh man,
Crafting god.
once I was able to make the 50 caliber silenced sniper rifle that I have
Wow.
now with a marksman stock
Jesus.
and a long recon scope. That,
Wow.
Oh my god!
So that leads into the next question that I had.
Which is playstyle.
Which is play style. So, yeah. So basically, we've already touched on a little bit, and then we all have a decent. Actually, I don't know what a lot of you people are doing. So let's just start off. What kind of play style? Melee guns. What kind of guns?
You
Sneaky.
people.
Yeah,
The people.
general playstyle. Okay, I am going with a sneaky tech thing. Although I just got my hands on a pretty amazing sniper rifle, so I've been using that instead of tech weapons like lasers.
You mean like lasers?
Yeah.
And, yeah. Energy weapons.
Yeah, energy weapons. So I've been putting a lot into sneak skills, mostly combat related, like not really pickpocket stuff. And like I make shadow armor and things like that to boost it. And then mostly laser weapons, and I just fry everything.
So
Fry
are
everything
you
up.
with the laser weapons? Are you kind of trying to snipe from a distance with them, or you just run in and start blasting?
I do it all. I mean, I think has
you
anybody
kinda
else
have to.
been playing stealthy? Because
Yes.
it's
So
very
I use shades of
very
stealth.
it's very difficult. It's early on, at least, it was very challenging to successfully stealth.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
That they were keying onto your footsteps a lot easier than
Yep.
they were in the past.
Mine,
But I've also heard that once you spec stealth full,
That's-
you're
Oh, yeah,
just
there's
I'm
some good
starting
skills.
to get
typical Bethesda.
it's starting to get
you
ridiculous.
can't be seen.
really, really nice. I'm really excited about it.
Right.
So I stealth mostly everywhere. I have definitely like single shot stealth killed some marked up super mutants, which is pretty sweet.
Nice.
Wow.
And I've been pumping a little into crits as well. So I'm just kind of like burst, like I'm just going to mess you up right off the bat type of thing. But I do have to run in occasionally. And so like VATS and crit and stealth is pretty much my combat focus. It's not a big deal
Right.
because although I did have an encounter with some feral legendary ghoul the other day, and it was in this huge factory, and it was literally just a kite all through every level, and it
Get away
taught
from
me
me!
a lot.
Stop
And then
mutating!
occasionally I'd flip around,
mutating!
like jump VATS, and just do it all, just crit, and then keep running.
The old jump
Yeah.
fat maneuver.
which must look crazy.
real quick,
on the outside.
that's a mechanic that I love is the crit meter,
yeah.
where you can
Yeah.
choose your crit and you can choose the time to crit, and then you can take perks that increase the meter, how fast the meter fills, and you can like save crits up with certain perks things like that. Which
Yeah,
that's amazing. to
Yeah.
me.
it is. It's great.
And
It's
I also like in VATS how it's slow mo now only. It's you don't pause it, and
Right.
Yeah, you still get bashed in
Yeah.
the face.
and
Yep.
also the legendaries that you referenced. Having legendary monsters is such a huge
Really cool.
addition. Like
adds a
it's
lot
such
of depth.
you'd think it'd be a subtle change, but it's not. It's very apparent.
It
And-
made me wary actually because
Yeah.
ghouls are pretty like easy to take
Right.
down, but when you have that threat of a bossy type monster coming at any
A
time,
legendary glowing one.
it makes you
Oh man.
you got to be careful. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like all the
right.
time. So it definitely added an edge. Does this question include like demeanor, like the way I'm approaching
Ooh, that's a good
the
point.
game?
Yeah, sure. Launch
Because
right into it.
I mean, it affects playstyle. So it's interesting, Dan. You said earlier that these people have suffered a lot, but I came out having a different approach because they've actually been born into this world. So
Right.
this is the world for them. So
Right.
I didn't attribute a lot of value to that. So I don't like a lot of people as my character.
They bitch constantly.
They
for being
bitch
born
and they're
into
not
that world.
nice and like everybody's cutthroat. So I've kind of taken this look. If you're gonna help me in any way, do the quest, do like the main line, then I can be cool with you. But otherwise, it's about me and mine because I got screwed and I had to live through that and I just lost 200 years and
yeah.
deal with me, you know, which is made for a really neutral gray play style where sometimes like, yeah, I'll help you out. And sometimes like, I'm going to take this from you
Right.
and it's
Right.
mine. And I think it fits the stealthy type of
Nice.
play. So
Yeah.
it's been fun. I'm like a little
Makes
shadow weirdo with lasers.
Yeah.
With
Man
a
out
job.
of time.
Yeah.
All right. So my play style is
50 cal sniper rifle.
yes, as I said, 50 cals. That's my primary thing. So it is stealth, but I haven't put points into stealth. My approach to a situation, I'm so far away
Yeah.
Right.
that
Yeah.
that I am stealth, but so my approach to any situation is beginning in stealth and then it develops from there.
Right.
So I will, and one of the things with sniping, I've spent so many perks on crafting that it's just. First of all, the first thing I did was try to get the perk where you can run, where you can fast travel when you're
Oh,
weighed
when you're
down.
over.
That was the
Oh,
immediate-
seriously?
There's one where
Wow.
there's one where
That's
you can
awesome.
run.
I didn't know that either.
When you're overweight, and
What?
then
Yeah, that's level 3 of that.
and then the last one is
So
you
you
can fast
basically
travel.
have unlimited inventory at that point?
Kind of. I
But
mean, you're
it-
still
you-
slow if you run out of AP. I assume.
It uses your
Oh, that makes
AP
sense.
to run. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
And it can't come back? It doesn't come back?
no, it,
it'll
it
come back,
recharges.
Yeah.
So you're still
it's
slowed
basically-
down
yeah.
because you
So
can't run around.
you have to
Didn't
run.
know that.
So you run a little bit, and then you're walking.
Wow.
And then you
could
run.
collect so much
I-
shit doing that.
That's
Yeah.
why I have so many settlements and so much shit going on.
You've
It-
got
Yeah,
obligations.
that was an interesting one.
I have so
You've got
many children.
thousands of.
I'm taking care
people
of
to feed.
hundreds of children. These people are children. They're a responsibility, and I feel sad when they die.
Oh man, that sucks.
Have
Have
I
you-
think only one has died.
What do you use when you run into like a building? Then
Yeah, so I use kind of everything. I have
just whatever's best at the moment.
so I have 6 favorites that I will use going through. 6 favorited weapons that I will use going through a place. I have an amazing. So I have the 50 cal sniper rifle. So if it's an outdoor environment, I will start out crouched back and start picking off heads, and which is amazing. I kill super mutants in one shot now usually, and it's fantastic. And they're just dumb and they never find me. But I don't use VATS for that because it's so much more inaccurate than if you do it yourself.
manually.
Right. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But later on, if
At
you
that
can
distance,
take a perk,
yeah.
that yeah. But eventually they'll find out where I am, and that's when I go in and my mid range it's a sniper laser, but it's really good with mid range and it's got a really good rate of fire. And then if they're a little bit closer, a lot of my close up work is
My close-up
is a really like completely souped up, silenced 10 millimeter, which I use when I go like into a tight area. I will be sneaking around, and I do I do sneak attacks for as much as possible. Plus, it's just badass. Like I love silenced pistols. I love using pistols.
I just like how there's there's so many options, and you really are taking advantage of all the different styles to fit whatever you're doing.
And the ghouls get the shotgun. I have a really awesome shotgun.
Point.
So the absolute up close is the shotgun, and just for fun, I have a revolutionary sword because I've gone the Minutemen route, and so it's fun. And I use the Fat Man. I carry a Fat Man for emergency purposes only because I'm like not skilled in it, but it does so much damage.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Nukes will do that.
Oh, is that the nuke slingshot?
Yeah.
Thing?
Yeah.
So I take the approach of kind of mid-range, active, and then in-your-face play style. I don't try to sneak around a whole lot. I will, like, if I need to get, like, the one-up on a situation, but it won't be stealthy for very long.
Yeah.
And so I use a laser rifle that does have a scope on it, and I also use a 44 machine gun, I think, like one of the submachine guns.
Nice, yeah.
I use that, and then when I get up close, I use a combat shotgun.
Yep.
And one of the things I really love about this game is using the weapon in melee range, like so hitting them with the butt of the gun.
Yeah, that is.
It's just a really nice addition, and then you can also spec it out so that you have a bayonet on the front.
Yeah, the bayonet
and you can just start
aspect.
stabbing people with stuff. And
Totally.
I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So that's my play style. It's very impatient and let's get this done.
Yeah,
spray in there,
chaotic, and I'm decked out. And
though, man.
I'm
Lots
usually
of
in huge armor, and especially the addition of power armor in this game. Well, the way it works in this game, is so different from the previous games, and it's just you just feel like a space marine.
So badass.
So do you wear power armor the whole time?
I wear power armor most of the time because they give you a ton of the fusion cores that you need.
Do you wear power armor?
I do when I'm going into a special situation because I haven't gotten that many fusion cores. I did take that one perk all the way up to like where fusion cores last
twice as long
and everything.
Well, you get
I've done a lot of like utility kind of perks and not a lot of like combat. I mean, I put two stars into single shot rifles, and that's about that's about it in terms of actual combat. Everything else is. But one thing I forgot to answer my play style in terms of demeanor, as Dane brought up, and then we'll hit you with that.
Parent to the entire wasteland.
Yeah. Basically, Preston was like, we need to help these people, and I was like, I want to help people. Basically, when it comes to Fallout and games in general, the route I will go is that I will go the opposite of the world. So in Fallout, the world is such a shitty place that I will be good. But if I play a game like Mass Effect where there's a setup civilization, I mean, there's stuff going on that's bad, but I'll go the renegade route or I'll go the darker route because like kind of go against the system. So basically,
so it's the super mutants' fault that they're angry that everyone shuns them, and that's not good. That can't be good, right?
Say again.
I'm throwing perspective.
The plight
of
the super mutants.
Like everyone.
No, I do feel bad for super mutants, but they want to kill me.
You want to make some super mutant settlements?
I just like how enamored you are with the settlers. I think they're like really also not good. But right?
Dane's pretty apathetic right now.
Yeah.
They kind of. I mean, the route I've gone, they're very thankful. They bitch about the bed situation.
When you wipe their buns and
they can't step up,
feed them, and
ungrateful peasants.
But I do
live your life, freaks. The super mutants are doing just fine.
Yeah,
you don't hear them bitching about settlements.
They've got bags full of your bones.
I do help
about that.
I do help and save people, but in some conversations, if someone if I don't like their personality, and I've met a few, I will come back with something snippy.
Yeah.
Or like
Nice.
I'm
Feel-
I
snide.
was just being a weird advocate.
yeah,
Just
no,
push it
I
at you.
do actually
Flip the table on
in
it.
the
Yeah.
world. I feel bad for the super mutants, but they're too far gone. I mean,
Yeah.
And the game doesn't really, that I know of, give you a mechanic to help them.
no,
That I've
no.
Too far
Or
gone.
to ally with them
correct.
and make them
The-
stop trying to kill you.
The way I help them is putting a 50 caliber bullet through their heads.
and that works.
Yeah,
Well, through their neck, really, and then their head pops off.
yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
That's the one thing
How
that
that
just
works.
like kind of bugs me is like the head doesn't explode, it pops off.
Sometimes it explodes,
Yeah,
but
it-
usually
yeah.
pops.
It's
Pops
not,
off.
it's not well attached on the
It's
Superman.
like a white
so-
head. All right, gross. Anyway,
Wow. So Dane, you asked the question
Similes.
about
Wait, wait,
power
hey,
armor. Oh, you're still going? All right, fine.
So as far as the way I approach the world, coming out of the vault, I tend to play Paragon. So until I really know the situation, I'm just trying to be a good person and not affect the world in a negative way. But then I eventually ran into the Brotherhood of Steel, and at that point, it was all duty and whatever
nice.
whatever they needed from me.
Did you
Yeah,
join up? You
I'm-
joined up right away.
Oh, I joined up big time and just crammed my situation in their face. I wanted to be the guy that did everything for them, so I was just on the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
One
that seems
mission
very
after
consistent
another.
with what you described as your playthrough too.
Yeah.
You know, get in there,
Yeah.
solve the problem.
Oh man, it was a lot of fun, and I also occasionally would just going back to the weapons, would play around with the lightning gatling, even though it's very inaccurate.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
But it's just it's like a minigun, but with lightning or not lightning, lasers.
Laser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lasers.
I've seen the tooltip for
I'm
that.
thinking about Star Wars. I've been playing Star Wars. so
One
I got lightning on the mind.
one awesome weapon. It's rare. It's hard. The ammo for it's pretty rare, but the Gauss rifle I gave to Preston, and I didn't really know exactly what it did until he shot at like a giant blue, like lightning beam out and blew the shit out of some raider. And that was awesome until there was one point we were in an alley and he shot at a raider, but forgot that I was between him and the raider and destroyed me. And I was like, Preston, you dick. I died. I had to reload. But one more note about my demeanor in the game is that I'm nice to the general populace, but I know that when it comes to my view of what of the main storyline, at least at this point, is one of vengeance. Like, I'm angry about that. I'm nice to
when you
and-
finally get around to going to Dynasty.
yeah. Anybody associated with that is gonna get
Yeah.
destroyed, but if possible, if that's how it works. But in general, I'm nice to the people. I want to make the Commonwealth a better place, as Preston constantly talks to me about.
So in Fallout 3, the first couple of times I tried to play through it, and actually the first one I completed, I was more of a like very stealthy sniper, kind of that role.
Ranger of the Wasteland.
Yeah. This one, I am all melee,
That's an interesting choice.
which
With power
has-
armor, right?
no. Well,
with
so that's the interesting part. Yeah, that's why I didn't answer yet, because I want to get like a big super sledgehammer and wear power armor as much as possible
I think
and do
that
that.
sounds super fun.
But I'm stockpiling fusion cores so that I can do that constantly.
Forever.
And there was one quest
How
early
many
on,
do you have?
like 7.
Oh yeah, you need more than that.
I know. So there was one quest early on, and it's like, go take care of all these bandits, and I knew there were going to be a lot of them, so I had just gotten the power armor that you really early, and I threw that on and just was like, I'm going to waste a whole power core. I don't care. I'm just going to go fusion core. I'm just going to go learn how this works, and it was so badass. I ran around with a
He's so
sledgehammer
I bet.
in power armor, and I just tore ass around the backyard.
Limbs
it was
flying
amazing.
everywhere.
I haven't. I'm sorry, this is interrupting, but
Sure.
Have
Have you used it yet?
what?
Power armor.
I only use it when you attain it for the first time.
Okay.
Actually, the question is about melee fighting in general.
Yes.
Because I've only done it outside of VATS. So, like, if you are across the room from somebody and you VATS and then you hit melee.
It just says 0% chance to hit.
But
Okay, so you have to be in range. It doesn't, like, run at them or. Okay.
Yeah, I
But
think
there's
you can be a
there's a
little
perk.
bit outside of range.
there's
There
a
are several perks.
Yeah.
and it's like 10 and 10.
That's how it works.
It's like 100. No, special's not 10 letters long.
Yeah, close enough.
There's a perk where in VATS, when you melee, you can make it so that you can melee from a distance. So you close
I saw that.
you basically in VATS do a rush. And
Yeah,
Nice.
I will be. There's one that does that. There's one that when you're wearing power armor and you run at somebody and run into them, you do damage, and it gets
Yeah.
better, and it
I saw-
staggers
yeah, I
them,
saw
and it
that.
gets
That's
better.
that's the last one
and
in
it
the
knocks them
strength
down.
tree. Yeah.
I am definitely going towards all of that once I stop being so distracted by like, hey, let's craft melee weapons and learn science so we can craft better power armor stuff. And I'm trying to backfill that and wasting skill points on, well, not wasting, it's fun, but I just got the one to do build
Yeah.
shops in your towns and stuff. But so I guess my whole approach is I'm basically going to be like a tanky paladin power armor melee in your face kind of
Yeah.
strategy
With a super
which
sledge
is-
with a
yeah.
rocket in the back.
Oh man, it's going to be so badass.
The one thing that I
It's a
think
slow build.
that I just thought about that will be really sweet in VATS when you get that that kind of charge ability, because I think it's multiple levels that you can put into it so that it increases the distance that you can do it from. If you're able to do multiple targets,
And just
you can
around
basically
the room.
do a VATS like shadow strike kind of like every
Nightcrawler around.
yeah, just go like bounce to like each thing, and then you end, and one drop of blood falls from your sword in a very Japanese Bushido way.
Well, I spent a decent amount of time running around with a security baton, and that was difficult. and like no
hilarious.
armor.
That's the
and,
that's the first thing you pick.
And then I had a tire iron, and for a long time I've been using a sledgehammer, and I just switched to some super mutant dropped a bladed board, so it's like a big plank with saw
Those
blades
things
tied
have
to it.
a lot of damage
they
output.
do.
Oh, it's actually
All
it's so
melee
slow
to
though.
me seems ridiculous.
But it's tough.
Well, OP. Like, well,
You mentioned-
just the damage is insane on some.
But it's actually really
I have like a tire iron with a blade, and it's the most damage. Of
yeah.
everything.
But the problem is so.
Getting there.
First of all, I think you mentioned that ghouls are fairly easy to deal with. Ghouls, when they swarm me when I'm in melee, is really difficult. I mean,
Yeah, that
you
would
have
make
to
sense,
you
I
have to
guess.
block appropriately and maneuver around so that if you get hit mid swing, it cancels your swing.
Oh, God.
So
Oh,
if I
God.
get hit from the side
Wow.
and I'm being flanked, I can't even get a swing in.
that I
so
didn't even consider that.
there's a
can-
lot of positioning. It's actually
You
kind
can
of cool.
block, right?
Yeah. So I mean, but you can't block the guy behind you mauling you while you're
Right,
getting
right.
Little
mauled
butt
from
block.
the front by 3 people.
Just stick your butt out.
So
Give him
knock
the
'em back.
boot.
it takes a lot of its positioning, and it's kind of tough, and it's especially difficult. I do have a pretty badass poison laser rifle that I don't use very often,
Wow.
but
Poison, really?
yeah, it does poison damage.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
I
pretty
went
sweet.
through the whole game, didn't experience anything.
Oh, I got it.
Anything
it was-
poison.
It was a random thing that I think I was given for a random quest reward.
That's
or
awesome.
something.
Is it like the incendiary stuff where it's like it does this
Oh,
much
yeah.
damage?
My laser rifle.
It does.
is
It does an
incendiary.
amount of damage, and then it does poison damage over 10 seconds or something like that. I
Yeah.
think, but
I set bitches on fire.
Also,
Wow.
my sniper
Wow.
rifle and my pistol are both like a legendary 25% plus damage thing.
Jesus.
So,
Mm.
oh god, so good.
I love it.
I don't even know what any of this is. I haven't had any of this.
So the reason I brought that up is because I don't use that very often. I try to just stick to melee, but I just did a quest where, it's really difficult when stuff is elevated and they're all up on towers and bridges and
Yeah.
walkways. For melee, that makes it really really difficult because you're just getting swarmed from above. So I had to snipe from a distance with the
yeah.
poison laser rifle, and I have plenty of ammo. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't use it
Throw
'cause I'm
Molotov
melee,
cocktails
but-
at them.
And the fact that the weapons don't degrade
Yeah.
is probably kind of nice for
It
that.
is
God,
pretty
that
nice.
was so nice.
I Dane, I remember that you were a little taken aback when you first heard that was
I
gonna
was,
be
yeah.
the case. But I honestly I love it.
I think it was smart based on what the game now includes.
Yes.
Right.
Because if I was worrying about one more thing, if there's one more thing I have to find out about that I have to worry about,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Right.
not play.
Yeah, there's already
No, I'm
enough
kidding.
to deal
I'm
with.
not gonna not play, but
One thing that
that would be a lot to deal with.
one thing that I wish was in there was that I loved about New Vegas was making your own ammo.
Yeah.
And I wish that was
You could do that in Fallout 3 in one of the expansions. By the way, I can't remember which one.
New Vegas.
No. Fallout
Yeah.
3 original. There was an
Okay.
expansion where
There were
you
a
went
couple.
and saved a town, and then there was like a weapon
Oh,
press
okay.
or an ammo press that you could use to make ammo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I-
that
I
wasn't in
didn't
the
know.
base game. That was a DLC.
I really liked New Vegas. I liked the
Oh,
writing.
yeah. I thought that was interesting. The power armor that they had in New Vegas was like the lighter version of power armor. That was kind of
With
cool.
like the coat
Yeah.
that man,
It looked really awesome.
Really awesome.
But I also have started. The reason I haven't gone to Diamond City and done anything really along the main quest line was because I found the Brotherhood of Steel, and I've been kind of digging into that.
Yeah,
because
you did.
I'm all about just
Ad
paladin,
Victorium.
paladin, man, just going in, swinging my mace around. That's what I'm
They
going
worry
for.
me.
Oh man,
I just need to get enough
They
power.
so worry me, man.
Well, yeah, I'm not. That's the problem. I'm not hugely aligned with their whole objective, but
They're pretty
you
radicalized.
like kind of okay with
You like
Sure.
their toys.
premise. But I like their toys. I like,
But
I
I
like
mean-
what they get
And
to
I'm
play with.
speaking
Show-
only
show
from
me-
my character's point
Yeah.
of view. They're
Oh, yeah.
badass in general.
I don't think I've ever experienced a group of people in the Fallout world that don't have some shade of something I don't necessarily
Right.
agree with.
Yeah.
Minutemen.
Really?
They're pretty good.
Pretty weak.
Yeah, they're kind of weak.
Would get wiped from the face of the planet if
not
you
for
weren't
you.
around.
Yeah.
Exactly. They were in that state.
True. Yeah. They.
But that's
They're pretty much useless
I can't
except
say
that you're
I
their
can't say
leader.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not like this part about what they do is shady, and you're not quite
Sure,
sure
it's,
about it.
it's
just
noble
that
if
they
you want to be.
they're noble,
not
but they
a part
just
of the world anymore.
sucked, and then you. had to
I have
save
made
them.
them. I have made them better.
Sacrifices must be made to
part of the world.
to affect a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, they
You're
have a
right.
different
You're right.
philosophy.
Brotherhood of Steel does not mess around.
Yeah.
So that they.
Somewhat altruistic.
Yeah.
I'm wary as my character. I'm
Yeah, they have one
wary of
unified
them.
goal.
And as in, like, I help them, but like they say stuff to me, and I'm like, ooh, I'll come back later.
Yeah. Like I've told Paladin Dance. I'm still thinking about it so many times because I do go back occasionally. And I'm like, I really want to
But
delve into this.
And then
Honestly-
the question comes up, you're like, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go back.
I think it goes a long way to as a testament to the Brotherhood, where like I am not comfortable with the idea of going to war with them at all.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
you just want to stay neutral.
I feel like at some point, and I don't know, I haven't gone very far on the quest, that it's gonna be like, all right, now is like do or die, and I'm scared about it. Like if I say no, it's like I don't. What are they gonna do? Like airdrop knights in, and I'm just gonna die and get destroyed.
Yeah, I get, and I don't think this gives anything away, but I get the feeling from the way they approach the stories in this game that they are taking some influence from BioWare and the way that they approach things, and it's really heavy. It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't enjoy the companions, there's story stuff with the companions that I do enjoy.
Nice.
So
Speaking of that,
The dialogue. That's Bioware.
Oh yeah.
one of the reasons why I didn't take dog meat and I took Preston was because I'm following this, like, let's rebuild some goodness in this world with Preston. And after I did the quest with Paladin Dance, so you like save him and then you go with him somewhere else, I can't remember, and clear out a place. Afterwards he asks, like, do you want to join? And Preston was like, look, you got to be wary of their hard line. Like, they're very.
Preston can blow me.
He's like, they're very hard line, and I don't think they have the best interest of the.
They have a pair of
Commonwealth.
testicles that I am not
Yeah.
familiar with.
Well, they don't. I mean, they're not worried as much about the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
They
he's
have
like
a very
they,
specific purpose.
He's like they're.
He's their recon from DC, right?
Yeah, they are they are a recon force that you run into.
Yeah. So, and Preston's like, I don't think they're here for the best interest of the Commonwealth. They might have nice toys, and stuff, but and I was like, all right, Preston, we'll wait on this. But I'm going to be ditching Preston soon because he's getting annoying.
Do you really need that clipboard? Yes, Preston.
I've never actually liked, like I don't mind Preston, and
Until he shoots you.
I've never really
Ghost
liked
Rider.
Preston.
Remembered.
I just take him with me, and it's like I understand we have similar goals, but you annoy the shit out of me, Preston.
I've been all dog meat the whole time.
Same.
And I just, for some reason, I had in the back of my head that dog meat can't carry stuff for you. So just like I've been in the game
Oh,
many
so you have
hours,
been
and
using
just
dog meat?
recently
I'm
I
pretty
realized
sure.
I should be giving him stuff instead of
I
fast
think
traveling
he can carry
over
as
and
much
over.
as anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's like I thought that wasn't the case. maybe because he's a dog and he doesn't have pockets. I think as we were
doesn't
talking
make
about.
Yeah,
sense.
we were talking about this beforehand.
That's
yeah.
for sure.
Neither does carrying 15 guns.
Well, yeah.
That's
and-
true.
I have
How
a couple
many thousand
pockets.
bullets?
Very true.
I've got 20
Very
fat
big
I'm
mans.
not gonna ask those questions.
Where are they?
So yeah, I go with Dog Meat, who, contrary to what you were saying about Preston, actually encourages me to go pick stuff up and even finds it for me and brings it to me. So it's kind of nice. And I don't stealth or anything, so companions don't really bother me. He doesn't shoot me in the back.
fair.
So-
Dog meat has not affected my stealth, but I think it's also this. Like when I say I play in stealth, I guess what I mean is I'm not hidden a lot of the time in battle. I'm at caution, and I just skirt,
Right.
I just skirt from place to place,
Yeah.
and like I get in
Right.
close enough to destroy, skirt back around somewhere else, and it's like a
Tactical.
yeah, it's
Right.
which is
I like it.
I've never done that before, right? It's like Skyrim is just straight. But anyway, dog meat has never. Once battle starts, dog meat is operating as a decoy,
That's
and
fair.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
he
really
does.
helpful actually.
Oh, but the sounds he makes just makes me want to hurl every time.
that
Sometimes
is-
it sounds
that
like
is
he's
true.
vomiting.
It does. I've kind of tuned
It bothers
out.
me when he gets hurt. Like when
Oh, and he's whimpering?
early
Yeah, that's
on,
rough.
And when you have to stim pack him when he goes down, like just that.
I'm not wasting a stim pack on him.
Yeah,
actually
I
did
let
it
him.
once.
I let him tough it out.
That injured dog look, like that bothers me. Like the like.
He's just a dog
Cow.
man. He doesn't have a soul.
He gets back up.
Well, you should.
None of us do.
You should just always take your butt buddy Preston.
Yeah. Which is what you've been doing.
Speaking of that, I'll just say Bethesda is very progressive in what you can do with
God, no!
your companions.
I had a feeling that they went that
man.
route. Things were.
I
yeah.
keep having to
Getting
like
another,
there, at one point he keeps bringing this thing up because he told me something personal, and there's some options, and one of them is to go a romantic route, but I usually just say the thanks friend option, but there's one that's
Good stuff, buddy.
that I haven't clicked. That next time he approaches me about this, I'm going to click, and it's the let's keep things professional.
There you go.
As in,
Yeah.
Draw the line in the
we're
sand
done.
here.
Do you think when he shot you from behind that it was symbolic of something else?
You should rename him
You
Anders.
think Ian McKellen goes home and shoots lightning bolts out of his finger? Always Sunny reference.
So back to the dog meat thing. When he's on the ground or getting hit and he makes the whimpering noise, it actually it changes my play style.
Motivates?
Because I am melee, I will charge towards whatever's doing that, and sometimes to my own
right.
danger, and I lose health because of it because I get swarmed. But
I agree.
it does cause me to actually turn around and
Yeah.
go towards that.
It
which
gives me resolve,
normally wouldn't do.
honestly. Like if
Yeah.
dog meat's going down, it's like, okay, I got to crank it up a little bit
Yeah.
here.
See, actually he is a better companion than a human because he creates that kind of more I don't know, reaction that you have to like an injured companion.
Yeah.
When Preston goes down, it's like Preston,
Meh.
you're fine. I gave you so much armor.
Deal with it. This
but-
is your own problem.
But yeah, dog meat, and that's where it actually kind of melds. That does a good job of melding the actual role playing aspect with the combat. Because usually in a lot of times there's kind of an noticeable division between playing the role and then when you're in combat, like you do combat. So having affection for dog meat and then rushing to his aid because he's making these sounds and stuff, like you have an affection for dog meat, so now like you're playing, like it's kind of melding together, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's intentional or what, but I think
I'm
it's
sure
what
that
Peter
they-
Molyneux tried to do with Fable and failed. But I think dog meat is awesome, even though I didn't use them for very long.
For me, it works really well in melee. It's probably more difficult in ranged. When he tackles things, it's great because A, they're not hitting me, and B, I can just walk up while they're prone or he's tackling them,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
can just take a swing.
It is kind of
It's
annoying
great.
at range because I
Yeah,
try to
because
headshot him and
he's
his
in
head's,
the
like,
way.
flying
I would
all over
imagine.
the place,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, stop biting him.
Yeah.
Well, if you put the perk
I imagine
in,
that'd be tough.
he'll
He
take
holds him.
He pins
Yeah.
him down.
It's like a
so you can
tank.
get-
Oh, seriously?
yeah,
It's-
he's
yeah,
got
I still don't care.
he's got a whole perk line of like 3 different things. Like
Waste of experience points.
And it's kind of it's an interesting approach to a game like this to invest in a companion. Are there other companion perks? I don't know. I have not. looked.
yeah,
There's some that
there's
they do more
another one
damage.
where it's
They don't hit you as much. I think there's
yeah,
one.
where you can't hurt. one that goes like first level, you can't hurt them, then they can't hurt you, and then they do more damage or something. Is the third level?
Yeah. One thing that's fun is melee with VATS is interesting, as we just described.
Yeah.
Where at least to the start, if you're out of range or too far out of range, you just get a 0% chance. But so I didn't use it a lot to start out with, but I've started using it more and more. Run up to somebody, then use as much VATS as I can just to get things rolling and build up a crit. And then just switch to running around swinging like a crazy madman. So I didn't use it for a while, but now I've started to use it a lot more. Do you guys use VATS?
Oh my gosh,
A lot.
all the time.
Yeah.
That is my existence.
Well, yeah, you were saying you snipe outside of VATS.
I snipe outside of VATS and up close shotgun. A lot of times it's just. Sometimes I'm just running around overweight, so I've used up all of my. I pick up everything. There was one situation where I went into a room and Preston just sat on a couch and watched me pick everything up. I had to take a screenshot.
And then he picked up the
That's
couch.
funny.
Yeah, because I was like,
Preston, get off the couch.
because I was like, it was like Preston finally realized what to do when we go into a new room.
Just take a nap.
Sit and wait because I'm looking at everything. But yeah, I don't like the accuracies a lot of times, so I'll do it myself. But with ghouls, they move around really fast.
Yeah.
So I will VATS like a ghoul infested place. I will go into that and
Yeah, it makes sense.
and use it a lot. But otherwise, I'm either sniping from afar or I'm pistoling. Sometimes I'll pistol in VATS, but it's I'd say half and half.
Okay. So
Long answer.
I love it, especially because have you get the suicide bombing super mutants?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I hate those
If you,
things.
you
The
can
football.
you can VATS it out of their they'll like if you,
not with a melee weapon.
No, I know, but I'm like it's,
Well, you could, but
Yeah, they just
Well,
already be
do
right
it
up in
with
your
your
face.
head.
it's just I mean I don't know. I'm a huge
That actually is a
VATS
really good point. I
buff.
should
they
probably
give you a
start
reason
switching to do that.
They give you lots of reasons to be specific with what you're aiming
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Right, and
Makes way more
also,
sense.
I think the pistol. I think in the pistol line of perks, you can, if you put enough points in, you're able to disarm if you start shooting at their gun
That's
handle.
I think there's one of those for melee too,
yeah,
for disarming.
Nice.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
So have you guys? I don't know what you were going to ask, but have you guys been watching the special video cartoons that come on
No, I have
occasionally?
not.
no.
Oh my gosh, they're awesome and
they?
hilarious. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I
so
have
like
no idea what you're
occasionally
talking
when
about.
you boot up the game, it'll take
Oh,
you to
right,
a
right.
special cartoon that's like 5 minutes long explaining the special.
I watched the first one on
Oh my god,
Intelligence.
they're
Wow,
they're not
I've never seen
hilarious,
it.
but they're like cutesy funny. They're
Yeah.
50s cartoons kind of things, but it's really
they're kinda dark.
informative too. It is pretty dark. But anyway, the what would it be? Agility one?
Yeah.
The one that's related to sneaking and stuff.
Yep.
They showed how in Melee you can plant grenades on your enemies. You can take their ammo clip off of them. Like if you get high enough sneak and
Yeah, the
Maybe I should start
that-
sneaking.
That's
it's
the
it's
pickpocket
really
one.
awesome.
I just charge in like a madman.
Yeah, it's interesting to like.
It's
I can't
rough.
imagine playing Fallout as like a Skyrim stealthy rogue,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what that is
Oh, yeah.
in my mind to me.
That could be really
There are
fun.
skills
That could be, and it'd
that
be
you
really
can
fun
totally
with
do
melee
that.
too, because you could sneak up, VATS destroy, right? And then like you could just you could walk around a dungeon without being seen potentially. That'd be
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Well, that's one thing about the melee stuff is it's so visceral in your face because they're literally right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
that. It's intense.
I recommend the cartoons.
So does that happen when you start the game?
Right. So sometimes it
So
just says,
before you
"Please
load
stand
the
by," and
game
then
in.
it goes into the garage visual,
Yeah.
right? But sometimes it'll just be like,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
check out it's like Vault Tech on Perception.
Yeah, they'll do the Bethesda with the gear.
I am,
then
and I'm
if-
constantly
I
just clicking like crazy.
Yeah, if you don't, the gear
I'm
will
with you, Joe.
the
Yeah.
gear will turn,
Jambone till
and then
the
it
game
kind of goes
loads.
away, and it's like number 5,
Yep.
or whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna have to start
They're
watching
pretty
that.
entertaining.
I didn't even know that happened.
I-
I'm literally spam clicking my mouse.
I've only seen I
button.
think
Let me
3,
play the
and it's gotten
game.
to, and it's
Yeah.
gotten to the point where I am hoping when I
That
the
it
game it's
comes
coming
up.
out.
So you just close the game and open it again?
No,
You haven't done that yet?
They
Haven't
gotta
gotten to
earn- they
that
gotta
point
earn
yet.
it.
It's not that. By the way, just real quick, something I really wanted to say and put on the record officially. Fucking hate Mirelurks.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, my looks are
See,
brutal.
that's I feel with every playstyle there's going to be a type that you hate, and Mirelurks are a pain in the ass. But
oh, they're terrible. But I really I enjoy how they have added in the lasers. Like if you're shooting him with a laser rifle and the Mirelurk puts his shield, like his shell down,
yeah.
it starts like reflecting all over the
Oh
place.
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I have
it's
not seen
it's
that.
Such a cool effect.
Yeah, there's a
Mirelurks.
lot of really cool little things that go on, and that is one thing. Like you'll notice the enemies, their AI is improved from past games. Like they'll take cover in an intelligent way.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But yeah, they do.
It's a little bit better. It's
Yeah.
like
It is
the Mirelurks.
It is better, but it's not great.
It's no, I know it's not fantastic, but it is a bit of an improvement. And the
Right,
Mirelurks,
right.
like they'll with the shell and everything,
Yeah.
they use that to their advantage.
Yeah, I think they added some mechanics there,
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome. One thing that's interesting, another reason I said I hate ghouls is because even if you block, you take radiation. That's why
Right.
the melee with them is such a pain because I just go into melee and I'm fighting a ton of them and they're annoying, and then I come out of it and I've got a bunch of radiation. That's how I got
It's so
to
different from my experience.
such low health.
Since we're talking about things that we hate encountering, have you guys dealt with any robots that will self-destruct after you destroy them?
The sentry
Yes.
bot, I fought one.
Oh my
Assaultrons,
God.
you goddamn bitches.
That sucks.
I think I glitched it because it was like, boss level skull, whatever, and I ran up to it and I did VATS. I hit it twice and it exploded and I took no damage.
Huh.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I have
that's
no idea
fine.
how it happened.
I've not
Yeah,
had that
I
yet.
thought it was
Legend,
gonna die.
legendary ones seem to explode.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just be on. Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
And you're close
You'll learn
enough,
your lesson.
You're close enough that it affects you. Is that why you hate it? That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
I-
Oh yeah.
okay.
Like a lot of times you're in close quarters and
Got it.
I read a tooltip that if you shoot the arms, like the limbs, off of a robot, they will run at you and self-destruct.
Oh, I think
that's
I saw
creepy.
Yeah.
That's
that.
great.
The more you know.
I've never had that. They're trying to catch up to me.
Oh man. Have you ever shot the legs off a ghoul and had it crawl at you?
I
Yeah,
have.
I've-
I chop limbs off like crazy on ghouls. It's nuts. I've had one run at me with no arms. I'm like, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do?
Yeah, what's
Bite
your,
you?
Irradiate
And then,
you.
Headbutt you?
it did. It bit me.
Lick you
It
with
sucked.
its irradiated
And I got
tongue?
irradiated. So here's a fun random question. Do you use drugs in the game?
I do not use drugs in the game.
Really? Does anybody?
Yeah.
I sell them.
You mean like
Like addictive
jet,
substances?
buff out?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you use
yeah,
those?
sometimes.
Okay.
I don't. I will.
I'll use Mentats.
Yes, Mentats.
Is that a drug?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
does that cause addiction? I
Yes.
just don't
You
use.
can get addicted.
I don't
to
use it
Mentats.
often
the
enough
addictive
to
stuff.
find out. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't use them.
I'm not sure how
too
that works,
often.
'cause I-
It's like I need an edge right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
I haven't used
I like the
them
idea.
It's kind of like a RATE thing. I just don't do
in.
it.
I haven't used them in Fallout 4. I did used to use Mentats in Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't use them, and I don't really make them because I save. I don't. There's
have
so much
everything
stuff, so
stockpiled.
like I don't want to waste ingredients that could go towards making a stim pack or Rataway, because stim packs and Rataway I will
Yeah.
stockpile.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. you do.
So Radex, is that addictive?
I don't know.
I don't
think
use
so.
that garbage.
I don't
don't know. I just I saw it
I
earlier.
don't do preventative care. I do.
yeah, the damage reduction.
deal
one,
with
get
it
out
after
of
it
here.
I
happens.
do.
Yeah. I happened to look at it the other day and I was like, I
don't
honestly
think
don't
it
know
does.
if that's
I don't
addictive.
think. I
You
don't
know-
think Radex
Okay.
or Medics
But you can,
does.
if you drink too much alcohol, I think you can get addicted to alcohol.
Definitely.
I think
can.
that's
Yeah.
a really interesting question. Just because it's very consistent with Bethesda that they have a ton of consumables.
Oh, yeah.
And in Fallout 3, I never used them at all, ever, not once. And even in the beginning of Skyrim, I never used them, barely at
Yeah, I
all,
didn't
not
use
once.
potions.
And then I started to use them a lot on my
I
more recent
always,
playthroughs.
in
Lots of
Skyrim, use-
potions, constant consumables, and
Health and
I
mana.
think that's why I'm now more willing to. If I see something and I'm in the thick of it, it's like damage increase or increased perception.
This
yeah,
one
let's
has
do this.
caused
Why
me to do
not?
it
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I've been
makes
using more stim packs and occasional Rataway,
They-
although now I can go to the doctor. But
I noticed. I don't know if you guys felt this way, but right off the bat in the game, it seems apparent to me that they've stepped up like how difficult it is from a sense of what you're going up against. Like
Yeah.
when you go after a raider camp, it's not 4 or 5 raiders. It's like
Oh, yeah.
15,
Right.
in a
Yeah.
Or more.
And they have
warehouse.
2 machine gun
Yeah,
turrets.
with
and
turrets
it's a mini
everywhere.
settlement.
And then
It's
there's
like
a boss
a
somewhere.
mini boss.
You're
yeah.
essentially taking down a settlement and being a monstrous raider yourself. How's that for good?
Yeah, but-
herd your cattle.
Yeah, but I'm not hanging bodies from trees.
Oh, yeah.
All you
just
can-
leaving them on the ground unburied.
They don't go. I still have everything's there that I've killed in this one. I mean,
I have
somebody told me that it resets.
eventually.
I've had to drag
Oh, you
dead
know, there are a
ghouls out
couple
of a
places.
settlement and throw them into
oh
a
yeah,
river.
I've done that. Mirelurks, I dumped them outside the wall. They just haven't gone away yet. It takes a long time,
Huh.
which is good because you can go find them and be like, oh, I missed some loot here. And yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I agree, though, with your point, Jarv, in that it is challenging and you got to kind of, oh my gosh, I don't know how much you guys have done for the Minutemen. There's one Minutemen thing where you have to like clear out a whole like giant factory.
Mhm.
That's one you were talking about with the
That's where I
mace.
went with the power armor.
With the power armor or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
There were so many
so good.
raiders in there. It was absolutely
Yeah.
bonkers.
Oh,
I was
15
I
is
had to
definitely an understatement for that place.
I
It
had
was
to leave
crazy.
That's
halfway
true,
through,
yeah.
just because it was too intense.
For
Yeah.
me, the thing that I dislike the most about that, I love fighting them and killing them. I find that fantastic. It's the OCD of having to pick up everything that's
Oh, I went
on
back
them.
and cleared it.
And oh my god,
Took a while.
that is why the first thing I did was the
There are 2 levels of clearing.
I did have a
Kill
minigun with me
Kill
there,
them all,
too.
clear. Pick up
Oh,
all
yeah, you gotta
the
go back.
battered clipboard, clear.
All the
battered
clipboards.
clipboard. Those are the
Finally
battered
stopped picking up
clipboards
folders.
are the ones.
Failed to hack a computer, restart the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Full restart.
You
know,
always, you always stop
I-
before the
Level
last
1.
hack.
I have
Oh, yeah, I always
entertained
do
the
that.
idea of restarting the game.
Yeah.
Have you
Already,
really?
I have.
So
Wow.
that's something that I thought immediately after I started playing was like, you put your special points in, you get out of the vault, and then you learn, oh, this is how
And
the
then you
perk tree
restart.
works in this.
Right.
And I was thinking, I should probably restart because I would probably do a slight
but
different.
that's
But then I
got
realized
so
that
many
gets so many
levels.
points that
That's-
you could
yeah.
just backfill things that you needed. and
I
I've done
actually
that.
spent
Great.
probably my first 10 levels. I probably spent 5 of them on intelligence.
Yeah, I did the same with charisma because I had 1 charisma and I was like, oh, whoa, I
Wow,
need, like,
Joe.
I need 6. Well, I was gonna just go run around and bash
just a-
people. I
you're
didn't
just
need
half your
charisma.
face.
You're
is
just a smelly barbarian
Yeah.
running through the
I'm
wasteland.
fine
Phantom
with
of
that.
the opera without the mask.
You should be
If I can-
pristine coming out of the vault, and you would
Without the
probably look
mask.
worse than the ghouls do.
Don't have the
The
decency
more
to cover it.
off-putting, the more off-putting
Oh,
I am, the
man.
better in that situation.
Music of the night is everyone throwing feces at you.
You should
Hey,
you
man.
should take
But-
the perks that make you
How
into
far
a
can
ghoul.
we take the Phantom of the Opera?
I've
references?
considered that.
But by the way, the fact that you keep throwing like other perspectives at me
Yeah.
about being like quote unquote good in the
Yeah.
Commonwealth and stuff, it actually bothers me because so often I don't play. Like Fallout is one of the few things where I will
You
play
actually
good
play
because
street. Good
Yeah.
character.
it's
Good.
such a dire.
Think about what
situation.
you're doing, man. Raiders are just trying to live too. They've decided to take the natural selection aggressive route, and you teamed up with the.
But their
Yeah, but
name
they
bars are
really
red.
are into S and M gear, and I'm a bit of a
They do a lot of
fashionista
that.
about that.
Yeah, I mean, we can't judge fashion choices. I mean, we can, but really,
The
that's gonna
Minutemen have
determine
sweet
your
coats.
approach.
You should set up a wildlife reservation for all the
They're living
blood
in the past,
bugs
man. They're
and,
living in the
Oh,
past.
man.
and the rad roaches.
That's why they're weird.
God.
They're not
No,
progressing
they
into
die.
the atomic
So,
age.
okay. So there's one thing that I read, I think several months ago before the game came out. I saw that there was an article where they basically explained that with this game, they've really revamped and redone the whole combat system, like the look and feel of the first-person shooter style, how it works. And I think it's a lot smoother.
Yeah,
than-
they
than
made it like a
Fallout
real
3.
first-person shooter.
So you've noticed that?
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I didn't like about Fallout 3 was it was if you wanted to play it like a first person shooter and not use VATS, it was a subpar first person shooter. But in this, it's much better in my opinion.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, I would agree
Pretty
with
great.
that. And they're a little more evasive as an AI.
Yeah.
Jumping back and forth.
that's really
instead of
annoying in
just-
Melee.
Yeah,
I
I've had
Yeah, I bet.
I'm not going to say what it is cuz I don't know if you've encountered this creature, but I've had a large creature and it's not a deathclaw because everybody knows about deathclaws.
Yeah.
Dodge 2 in a row. The only 2 I had mini nukes.
Wow.
Fat man.
That's horrible.
He dodged to the left and then I shot another one. He dodged to the right
Wow.
and they blew up in the background and I was like, I'm fucked because that was my plan. Because I know that 2 of these will take him
Plan
down.
2 is run.
Yeah, and then I was, oh man, but it was cool.
Yeah, I do think it is smoother overall.
Yeah, I've liked it. I like it a lot. I think it's a huge upgrade from Fallout 3. Every gun is better that I've used so far, I think, in terms of the mechanics of using the gun.
Just
yeah,
smoother.
it's just smooth and
The
it's
sound effects, I think the sound
yeah.
they're
effects
great.
are better.
It makes sense. The clip amount makes. I mean, everything about the combat. I just hate the mosquitoes.
Oh my
Oh
god,
they're so gross.
They're
I-
the
I-
worst.
I hate when they jump on your face, suck your blood, back up, and then shoot your blood at you.
Oh God.
Yeah, or the
Have you-
or
have
there's
you
the
had
widow, the widows.
Have you? Yeah. Have
Oh,
you?
I
Have you had like
detest.
the kind of like mini mini animation where they jump on your face and you have to like
Yeah.
you push them off?
Oh
Wow.
God, no!
I've not
and they,
had that.
And they
That
suck
sounds
your
terrible.
blood from you.
Oh God.
Yeah. And there's a tooltip that
long as they
says
take
they
some of the
suck your
rads with
blood and then make it poisonous and shoot it back at you.
stupid mosquitoes.
I hate them.
I already
so
hated
much.
mosquitoes.
I exactly.
They
I hated
get
them when they were
vats.
harmless,
Yeah.
and now it's just insane.
It's like a flashback
They
to
get fats.
Jumanji where
They
they're
get
trying to
the-
break through the windshield. I'm traumatized by that.
Oh,
you mean you
yeah.
use VATs against them?
I-
Not they are using a system of VATs in their AI.
They have their own vat. No.
That would be
no,
awful.
Yeah, they get the vats because they're too wily.
I just can't stealth around them as well as humanoids. I think that's just an animal thing, maybe. And
Yeah,
it
they
really
kind of just show
pisses
up
me
out of the
off.
wild.
Well, the way that they're very inquisitive. Like if you attack one,
Yeah.
they're all
They're
going to
very
swarm
interested in your
right over
innards.
there. Yeah, it's just annoying because I can't. They're so fast too. It's you can't
Yep.
get away.
When
Skinny.
I met the first legendary one, I was like, I don't want to do this.
I died like 4 times before
Yeah.
I beat
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I really like so in Fallout 3, it was kind of standard. You had a couple different pieces of armor you put together. In Skyrim, you got more. You had the boots, gloves, legs, arm, helm, chest kind of thing. This seems to have a lot of that,
Oh yeah.
but even more complicated and complex. And I like that.
You have like
do
under. You have under like
The Under Armour
some of the things are
product placement.
your base clothing, and then you have the armor you put onto that. And I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, parts of it. The part I don't like about that is the way it looks sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make
but-
it really mishmash.
But I do appreciate. I mean, it gives you options, and they all have their own independent stats, and some of them are adding to your special skills. Like I'll hold on to like a leather piece if it might not be the greatest defense, but if it gives me +1 charisma,
Right.
+1
Oh, yeah.
intelligence, I'm gonna wear it.
I've worn a
I-
hard hat
I-
for 99% of my playthrough so far.
I carry a suit and formal hat with me for all
For
negotiations.
all business
Yeah.
needs.
Wow.
For when you
I-
play dress
role-playing.
up with Preston.
Preston and I's relationship is nobody's business but ours. Okay.
I like that it's just sort of been an iterative improvement for me. I keep finding better pieces of like a better leg, better right leg, better left arm kind of thing. I haven't dug, because it takes some initial skill point build to really make good modifications yourself, but you can go find so many cool pieces. And I literally did. I wore a hard hat until very recently,
That's awesome.
the entire game. And it started out a
Rocking
hard
the
hat,
hard hat.
and welding goggles, red bandana
Oh,
on my
man.
face. That's
Wow.
kind of how I went.
If
And then
I saw
switched to the
someone
police shades.
running at me with a sledgehammer wearing a hard hat and welding goggles, I would shit my pants.
That was me. That was me.
I don't know how your settlers trust you. Yeah.
I do.
They accepted me.
I do full combat armor, military fatigues, the combat armor helmet, welding goggles, and skull
Welding
bandana
goggles.
masks.
Oh, I liked the welding goggles, but I had to switch to the police
The goggles.
shades.
The patrolman sunglasses.
Oh, those are great.
Oh,
I just wear
That with a
bifocals
hard
all the
hat,
time because it makes me look like myself a little more.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I
I
just
felt
wear
like the village people.
shadowed combat armor, which is sneaky.
yeah,
Yeah.
I liked that shadow.
But I
like
don't like the helmet, so I just wear a cowboy hat and
See?
shades.
That gives you like a perception.
you got to
point,
get a
though, right?
fedora
It does give me perception.
So there you go.
I do have some fedoras
or
from killing the gunners,
one of the ones that does whatever it does luck.
the like mob people,
Oh,
Yeah.
Triggermen.
the triggermen. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah, I ran into those and I was like, "What the hell?" Like
They're dressed like 20s.
I love
Yeah.
it. I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
I thought they were great. I thought he was like
they're terrible too.
They were-
They just run rampant all over them.
They were
They're
probably my favorite enemy
Yeah.
in the game.
the first time I saw it. It was a situation where I thought like this is some specific bodyguard to a specific guy. So I thought he was like the Trigger Man was his nickname, and then I ran and he was wearing suspenders and a fedora, and it was badass. And I was like, this is awesome. And I blew his head off, and then I ran into the building and ran into a ghoul named, like, not a feral ghoul, but a ghoul named Trigger Man. And I was like, oh, there's more of you. And then I shot him in the face with a shotgun, and it was awesome. And then I took all their clothes, and I love the clothing.
Yeah, they really, really ramped up the options. I mean, the whole scope of the game is huge, as we've already said.
Yeah.
But so you have a favorite fight? Not to give spoilers, but favorite enemy?
Favorite enemy was definitely those guys. What are they called again?
Trigger Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't they have like a gang name, or is it just
They were part of Raiders for me. Are you talking about Gunners?
No,
Gunners
no,
are like
the
the
Gunners are the
Gunners are like-
mercenary.
yeah, they're kind of like military.
There
Raiders.
is, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but there's something I've encountered where it's Triggermen. I think it's Triggermen, not Gunners, and they work for like a dude, and they are like
Right,
an
right.
organization.
That's the
and it's a
situation I
mob-
am
it's a
talking
mob
about.
boss.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
then
so
maybe
it's
I-
almost like you're going up against the mob.
Exactly.
And I really enjoyed that because they're all using Tommy guns. And,
Yeah.
and it's throwing Molotov
It is kinda-
cocktails
yeah,
at me.
I think I'm doing that kind of thing right now.
Yeah, I just
very fun.
it was like obviously out of place. Like it's like you're in the 1920s, but you're in
Yeah.
2070 or whatever.
I
it is,
can't wait.
2200. I don't remember what it is,
I can't wait.
but it was a good experience, and it was a fun. It was almost playful, even though you're blowing people to pieces. But it didn't feel like as deep at that moment.
Yeah.
because it was weird.
That makes total sense that they're kind of like gangsters because basically it was a betting thing that I raided and
Right,
destroyed.
right.
If you
Yeah.
if you know what I'm talking about. And there were Triggermen, but there were also raiders who I don't know if they were just there to bet. Who knows?
Just been.
They all died. That's for sure.
Well, I definitely have a favorite battle, like a moment. I think
Yeah.
is what you mean. Yeah,
Either
totally.
one.
I alluded to it earlier. I was looking for. I was trying to complete this quest, which had me traveling across Boston, which is a very horrifying adventure.
Dude,
Always.
Boston sucks.
Boston's-
South Boston.
Creepy.
It was
It
was
more
South
you
Boston,
go.
I think. Yeah,
Mm.
and I went into this
Southie?
random factory building, and it was filled with ghouls, and it was all fine until that like feral legendary. It was everything that
Glowing
you could be,
one.
poison, glowing,
Everything you can be.
and
Yeah.
and I didn't. It was the first time I'd ever encountered anything like it. So my first encounter was just like I've killed most of the people around here, so nothing's gonna crop up. Stand my ground, and Dogmeat and I will take care of business. Absolutely demolished. Not a good approach right there. So the battle became. I made sure I killed everyone that cropped up, and then sent Dogmeat in. Did as many VATs and crits as I could, and then I got out my quickest firing weapon and just started training them up. This took like probably 15 minutes. This battle against this
Wow.
one thing,
Just
where
a
I just
kite.
run kiting through, and I ended up coming up with this awesome path where it was like slowly move around pillars and stairways up, and then I just jump all the way down, and then meet him again with VATs and crit, and then do it again, and
Did you think about shooting him in the legs to?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was so fast. Like it was faster than anything I'd ever
Yeah,
seen
they
from
they
those.
like the closer they get, the faster they
They sprint towards you.
they
so
have this
it,
kind of
it never.
creepy, almost like horror movie quickness, like when
Yeah.
they do like flash, like yeah.
And the percentages at the time of the battle, like where I was in my character progression, I was probably somewhere I probably shouldn't have been
Sounds
Yeah.
like
at my level.
that always
but-
feels good when
yeah.
you succeed, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
That-
what I think why I liked it. It gave me a special piece of armor. Is the first time where I got a piece of armor where it like
legendary. armor.
legendary and flashes you into it when you pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a moment of everything was all good. I thought it was the place I was supposed to be in for the quest too. So that was a little let down when I was like, I don't know, I'm in the wrong place. So I just had
Why am I in
this is like
some
an
dude's basement?
hour of gameplay,
This didn't get me where I
but it
wanted
was
to go.
very memorable. I mean, it was great, very exciting.
So that Raider thing where the one time that I've actually gone out and intentionally gone crazy with the power armor, it was a long drawn out process with many sledgehammered bandits, raiders. And at the end you come to like this ledge where there's, the main boss dude and a couple of his henchmen, and they're up there, and I didn't know how to get up there when I ran in the room, and I'm like, at this point I'm kind of banged up and running low on the fusion core.
Mostly rads at this point.
Yeah. So I put the sledgehammer away, brought out the minigun, and just sprayed him down. And
Nice.
it
Nice.
felt pretty awesome
One
because it was a good change.
One thing that's really cool, in addition to just feeling like a badass in the power armor, is when you jump from a height in the power
yeah.
armor.
That is
You
done
do
that
the
once.
crash.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel so awesome.
Yeah, maybe a few
like-
times,
you can
actually.
jump from as high as you want too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
No damage.
I'm
No fall
trying to
damage.
think of what that must have looked like on the outside, that whole thing you just described, where you just killed everyone with a melee, and then you like are confronting the boss, and they're like, all right, he's going to come in for the real thing.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, F it. Just minigun it out. Like, this is what I am right now.
It felt so right.
It's just really funny.
Don't even have to aim.
He
at
probably
that
has
point.
a sweet sword, and he's like, this is a
It's
duel of
Yeah.
masters.
It was
And then
basically
you're
the
like,
It'd be an honor.
It was
it's the Indiana Jones
It was an
moment.
Indiana. Yeah, I was gonna
pull the gun
say
out.
Indiana
It's the end of
Jones.
Last Samurai.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that though.
Wow, that's brutal.
And the last. That's so horrible.
That's great.
I do also like
He's
getting
just
in.
trying to run a business too, you monster.
Hey, we're our paths cross.
Hey, someone's got
We had
to.
differing
Someone's got to
opinions.
walk away, right?
That's right.
My
In their power armor with the minigun.
if we're still kind of going around about favorite battles,
Yeah, do it.
It would be that one where I shot the nuke, and it was just like, this is gonna hit it, and this giant thing just lumberingly leaps out of the way. And I'm like, no, because I'm like, now I got to use my regular
wasted a
weapons to
mini nuke.
take at least half of his, because I knew that 2 nukes would take him down almost all the way. And then I shot the other one thinking, okay, now I'm going to have to like take him down half with all my weapons. And he dodged that one, and I was like, fuck. And I used all the ammo of like every weapon I had while running around this swamp shooting this guy.
Wow.
It was,
I don't know
that's
what that
intense.
is.
See that the kiting thing doesn't really work in melee.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Counterproductive.
for obvious reasons. So my version of that is to try to run around them in circles and be faster than them and hit them from behind. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
he was
there's a
throwing,
lot of running in circles.
he was throwing
Obstacles
rocks at
work
me, and I was
well.
dodging.
Oh yeah, that works
Yeah.
too.
So
So do landmines.
I should probably start using
I
some of
haven't
that
done
stuff.
that much.
Yeah.
Oh man, invaluable.
I
Well-
just got into nades a little, and it's kind of they're really good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nasty. Yeah.
I use
That would
I
be. You should
hesitate
do
with
your
that
Joker
stuff.
approach again, Jarv, that you did in. New
I
Vegas
have
or
been
whatever.
trying to
Vegas.
think. I mean, obviously, now that I've beat the game, I'll do another playthrough eventually. But I'm kind of sidetracked with Battlefront right now, and then
Yeah.
eventually I'll be playing StarCraft.
By the way, anytime you want to play Battlefront, I
Yeah.
played it for the
Let's see
first
it.
time today.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I was going through before I came over here and
I saw
working on the trials and beating all your records. So suck it.
son of a
Oh, they show you the
Time
I
trials.
didn't beat. I only saw like one of yours or 2 years, and I didn't beat them because I was this first time playing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, this is the Fallout
but-
4 podcast.
Yes.
But,
And are
Wait,
we
what were,
ready
you,
for?
what were you gonna say? You were
What
gonna
was-
say
What was I talking about?
you were gonna say something you're thinking of
your
doing.
Joker
I assume for a
equivalent?
playthrough.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I was thinking Malcolm Reynolds would be a fun one.
That is a great one.
Maybe you should tell the audience what your Joker playthrough in New Vegas was because we're referencing it. And
Okay.
It's going to know.
So, I'm a huge fan of RPGs, but I don't normally model characters after actual existing people other than myself. I'll always play myself generally the first playthrough, as much as I can get it to look like myself. But in New Vegas, I decided to play as the Joker because it's kind of completely counter of what I normally play, in that he's pretty evil and also insane, so you don't really have to commit to anything. And I found it exhilarating. First of all, I was surprised with how well I made him look, because I'm not very
your
artsy, and I
screenshot was
usually don't
crazy.
have the patience to do all the the time it takes to put into creating a character to make it look like something. But I somehow made the Joker.
I didn't even know you could use some of those coloration options on like the face and hair and stuff.
And he looked awesome. And then, like, right out the gates in New Vegas, if people remember, you get a lot of dynamite. So I'm just chucking dynamite around as the Joker. I'm beating people to death with shovels. I'm turning on people left and right. Just no rhyme or reason to my morals.
Yeah.
And it was just
It sounds kind of
as
liberating.
stale as New Vegas could get. It was a great playthrough.
Wow.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
I don't think I've done anything.
Chaos.
Did your Batman ever appear? Your
No,
Your nemesis.
the
is-
yang
Dark
to your
Knight.
yin. Yeah.
I didn't use that super weapon against the NPR though. That was fun.
Oh, nice. It was just a test.
I remember
Just use
that.
the threat of it to cause fear.
I was like, ooh, that worked well.
So, are we ready for the random question of the day? Our quadded?
I don't know
Sure.
if I can ever be ready.
Our
Yeah,
quad.
that's true.
Did we land on?
Well, I suck at them. My track record is horrible. So
Well, who did we land
I
on?
think it was my.
Yeah,
we're
Dane's
going with
And
Dane.
we'll
throwing it
see how
up.
this goes. We might need
You're
a
up.
second, but we'll see because
You
it's
at bat.
I don't know how it's going to go. So my question is Fallout related, but I would be curious to hear how you guys individually, and I'll share my own approach. Thinking in the moment. How would you actually deal with the reality of being put into the position
I thought of that
Ooh.
question
in real
as well.
life? You don't get there's no saves, there's no you die and come back to life like you're talking about tomorrow there's a nuclear holocaust. What are you going to do? Like what's your
Right.
Once I
you
had a
survive.
few things stocked up, I probably wouldn't go run off into danger like a crazy person all the time.
I would love to hear what you would think, what you would do. What your life is totally realigned. You have to rethink your goals, your dreams, everything changes.
it's kind of liberating.
Right.
It could be. Yeah.
Terrifying and liberating. Yeah.
So I can go. I think I have a good idea.
Sure.
If you want to think about it for a second, is it unless anybody has something that they want to jump in?
Go right for it.
Okay, so obviously there would be a great deal of caution put into play, but I'm assuming like this happens and then you have to like deal with living life. I think I would make it my goal to try to piece together and maintain like human achievement and history up to that point. Because the reason I was thinking about this, I don't want to go too far into this because it is involving Diamond City and stuff, but there's the baseball guy in Diamond City, right?
Right. Preserving baseball, I
And
assume?
he tells you this thing that's totally false about baseball, right? And you I think you have the option to say like, that's not it at all, dude. You're wrong.
Right.
And that happens in history. So I think I would dedicate my time to like gathering books and like being probably a hermit unless I
is
had like my family alive.
Fahrenheit 451.
A scribe for the
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
The end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe like yeah and just trying to like gather stuff and record it, put it into data,
Wow.
piece together old technology maybe, and like just try to like not lose what humanity has built, especially in the case of Fallout, where isn't it something like 16 nukes drop at once? I mean everything's screwed.
Oh, yeah, the
got
whole world
messed
got
up.
The whole world got, or in America, yeah, is what I meant by that.
Right.
So I think that'd be my approach. I would very quickly learn how to fight, even if it was training myself as best I could,
Yeah,
right.
shooting somewhere. But yeah, I think I'd try to make it my goal to make sure we don't lose our whole identity,
So
even as we reforge a new one.
you would be like the Brotherhood of Steel, but instead of technology, you would get knowledge.
Yeah, history, knowledge,
history.
literature. Like
Nice.
what we are as like if you think of our species as an identity, a lot of it is based on that higher culture, right? That's what defines us.
Yeah, it's a long chain of history that
in
builds
addition-
up to where we are.
Yeah, it's our psyche in
Yeah.
formal form.
So my initial impression from that would have been find some guns, find a bunch of food and water, and then find a safe place to hole up.
yeah, I'm assuming like that's granted. We're all
Yeah.
gonna maintain
So,
our necessities.
That's the
to survive.
instant answer. And
Right.
then I think to build on that, I would go crazy with just tinkering with stuff and trying to piece back together technology and make crazy stuff like that, which is why Fallout 4, especially this one with all the tinkering and the crafting and everything kind of appeals to me because I think
Yeah.
I would really do that as my background is into all that tech stuff. So I would just go crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd
it's
have
similar,
plenty of
but
time.
tech oriented.
Yeah.
right.
Go ahead, Dan.
All right. believe it or not, so basically, I would gather supplies, find a very secluded place, gather weapons that I know their location of, take them to this specific place, gather me and mine, those who I know and that I can trust and that I can find as quickly as possible, and then go to seclusion, set up various situations, basically try to set up a way to grow things, food, have planned for that. Those who know me might not believe that this is true, but I would actually probably take a leadership a position of leadership, because there's something in me where I can basically switch and then just be like, this needs to be done now. This needs to be done now. That's what needs to be done.
So the settlement stuff is really the reason you've delved so much into that is because it mirrors what you would really try to do.
Yeah,
regrow civilization.
Basically, yeah. But the one difficulty is the trust thing.
Oh, yeah.
I would have very little trust of anyone besides me and mine, and I would look out for them, and they would be the number one importance, keeping them alive, supplying them with food, telling them what they need to do in order for that to happen. And in terms of, if I try to recreate some kind of progress, I really don't know if my first goal would be preserve history or tinker with things. I think it really would be very survival focused.
Basics, agriculture.
Yeah, just and honestly continuing. It's animalistic, but continuing your genetic line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how you're programmed.
Yeah.
Banging anything that moves. That's what we're getting at.
Rad roaches. Oh God, you're so sexy.
Roaches.
Preston.
Oh. See, but that wouldn't continue the
Anyways,
biological line.
That's not how it works.
that's not important.
In the radiation, anything's possible.
Do you know about the birds and the bees and how
I'm
babies
aware
are made?
of the birds and the bees. So for me, similar to Dan, I would group up with the people close to me, but assuming that they are all dead, then what I would do is I would search for a group to join. I wouldn't really look for a leadership role. I don't think I'm capable of leading people in that kind of quantity.
So not like a lone wanderer style.
Definitely not a lone wanderer
Yeah.
style. I do not. I don't have the abilities necessary.
Well, strength in numbers,
to
right?
do that. So yeah, strength in numbers. Surround yourself with people that know what they're doing. Obviously, like Dan said, trust is a big factor, but I don't know if you would put that above the absolute need of numbers, because it's a numbers game at that point.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of Walking Dead. I mean, there's so many people that don't trust each other, and there's backstabbing and all kinds of stuff. But they stick together because if they didn't, then they would be easy prey.
And there are like this. You have the core group, and then they encounter another group, and there's tons of mistrust. Yeah. And then when they meld, it's like some are trustworthy, some aren't, and then your group is then infected with its own inner mistrust, and that's problematic. That's why I would be very wary. I would probably have the initial reaction of I can't remember his name, but because I stopped watching a while ago. But the old guy where he's like, "I'll give you help, and then you're on your way."
Yep.
That kind of thing. Like, I'll give you aid, but I'm not trusting you with anything, or I'm not turning my back to you. I'm not. And also part of what I would do in like a leadership position is everything would become very regimented, and people would have to stay.
When things are limited, you kind of have to.
Yeah, and there would
set
be
the rules.
like staying physically, even though I'm not super in shape, but getting training and
so
being
like
prepared.
a semi-militaristic living.
It would be it would be like a militia compound kind of.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think the trust thing is interesting too, because I think being untrustworthy makes it so that you can actually be more trustworthy when someone has proven themselves to you. So like when somebody actually does earn your trust, you're going to protect them
Yes.
Inherently like them more than others.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it that much more powerful when you do trust. It also makes it that much more damaging after their sudden and inevitable betrayal. But I mean, I think it does add
And
that
you
level
say
of
that
trust.
quote, and it makes me think of Firefly. And
Right.
I don't know whether
Like
Firefly
a mal approach of
yeah,
mine. And I agree with that.
I
think.
very much. I don't know if I had that in me, and Firefly kind of like, ignited my realization of
Yeah.
it, or if Firefly just had so much of an influence that
Right.
I was very much.
Well, that's what is interesting is trust and trustworthiness matters so much more on a larger, more important scale. The less law and order there is, because right now you can say like if I don't trust somebody and they do something to screw me over, I can sue them or they'll go to jail or something. But when there is nothing, no structure,
safeguards.
there aren't those
Right,
safeguards.
totally.
Then you have that's all you have is like, is this person going to literally stab me in the back?
Right. And I've been thinking a lot about, as I've been playing through, paying close attention to the way that the characters live now. And being 200 years later actually threw me for kind of a loop because I expected it to be, okay, how are we dealing now? But it's been 200 years later.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't just be, the land is destroyed and the cities are destroyed and people are killed. I mean, like our whole moral system and our whole approach to life depends on the general stability of the world, and it changes when it's unstable, like the current refugee crisis. But like here in America, we're pretty we're lucky to be safe, so we have the convenience of morals, if that makes sense.
And the time to play video games.
So like when and the time to play video games.
Thank
so like
God.
if something like this were to happen, I think everybody would have a very serious reckoning with their psyche of, okay, they said this was moral before, and this is also like if you believe in objective morality or subjective, but a lot of people I think are subjective, they just don't realize it or know it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Personal opinion. But anyway, you'd have to like revisit that and think, okay, maybe killing is okay because I have to, and even if it means like killing preemptively to get something to survive if you're taking care of a community, for example, or like I really need to get this book and I know this is the only place to get it. Am I willing to like take it? Am I willing to hurt someone for it? Things change because
and that's
of the
that's
different
why
worlds.
Say
I find that so
somebody wanted to
fascinating, right?
destroy it for some reason, and they had like gasoline in a match, and you had a gun. Would you shoot them before they set this book on fire?
And that's why shows like Walking Dead and games like this, where it's a like a simulacrum of that real possible event that if you actually had to do it, that you have to think about it.
And that's why they're so compelling.
Yeah, and that's why it's popular because it takes you out of your normal mindscape and you just go and have like, what would I do? And you start thinking about that.
And maybe it doesn't change for people. Like it stays the same, but I don't know. I think it's something it's worth considering if you maintain the status quo, what you've always thought, even in light of such a travesty, such a disaster. Does that weaken you as far as your ability to survive goes? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's animalistic to want to survive, and it's within us, deep within us.
It's part of the adapting.
And if you're in an environment where you need to do those things, then
morality has
that's
shifted.
the way it is now.
Yeah. It would really make me think hard about that. I mean, especially if like, is there objective truth? Something like that would make me really dig deep.
Yeah.
You might become a raider, Captain.
Yeah. I mean,
with the shit you've been spewing my way,
I still maintain that it's the Raiders also have camaraderie, and they also, if you've read the notes on the ground, like they care about each other, they try to get each other off drugs. Like there's a lot of cool stories in the Raiders world where it's like they're the same. Maybe they're doing it right.
But their names are
Take
red.
what you can get, survive. You have a little community.
Somewhat situational.
But their names are
too.
red.
I mean, what if this all happened and a group of Raiders came up and that's like, how your game started in that situation.
Right.
And they said, you either join us or you die.
Yeah, that'd be
Then
awesome.
you're a
That'd be a
Raider.
cool perspective.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can turn on your settlements at some point. Like, what would it mean if you built the Commonwealth up like your style, Dan, and then you turned on everyone and became like the Predator?
I've kind of actually thought about that.
Yeah.
I've thought about what if I wanted to
You
go.
become the prey.
What if I wanted to not take care of all these children?
Like, what if I
Or you're
wanted
just
to
like,
go
I built
evil?
up a sweet system. I'm now the Supreme Lord. Give me it or message sent.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the game gives any advantage to that, though.
I don't know. I hope that's the whole point of the game. We haven't discovered it.
Just to turn on everybody and rule the world.
I don't know. It's
Without Iron
I
Fist.
think the fact that the game has stimulated so much thought on my end makes me respect it a great deal. I mean, I'm already aware this
absolutely.
will be one of the best
Yeah.
games I've played
And
up
I
to this
think
point.
Yeah.
that's why I like the Fallout genre.
Yeah.
I said it to you guys early on when I was playing. I was like, I think this might be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like
And then
it's-
we'll probably say that up at the next one, too.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
but
the next,
honestly, to
Elder Scrolls.
Bethesda's credit, they keep doing it right. I mean, Skyrim was so good. Fallout is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Then Elder Scrolls 6 or something like that. Oh, man. Something to look forward to.
Elder Scrolls Online, they dropped the ball, but hey,
Hey,
Yeah, they try to do something that they aren't
outside
good at.
their
Yeah.
box.
can't win every time. All right, so that about wraps it up for episode 7 of Rough Around the Edges. Look at our website, roughneckgames.com. We have plenty of content and also social media links for you to peruse.
Yay.
Yay, bye.
goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.